check the next vid in the playlist. Show these Asmon fans what people think of him.
All right, guys. So, Asmongold, one of the top slop tubers who has become very political in recent times, he, on his live stream, apparently...
Kyle, my goat Kulinski. It's secular time, bitch. My dark woke commander, dude. He's in it. He's who Ludwig thinks he is. He's him. Yes, he's him. Ludwig ain't him. He's him.
Casually said that he supports the U.S. military killing innocent people in other countries in order to steal their resources. This is what he said. By the way, this is the guy who, it wasn't that long ago, wasn't he pretending to have turned on Trump over the Epstein files? I believe I may have covered that he was like, oh no, I've always been critical of him. I don't know what you're talking about. His own chat was coming after him, and he's like, oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I've always been critical of him. You're not paying attention. I've always, I've been against this for a long time. I didn't even vote for him. This whole thing about how, oh, of course. All it took to win him back was for Trump to launch an illegal and offensive war against a country that didn't attack us and wasn't going to attack us, and kidnap.
Look at him, so mad that his earring is flicking around.
Now, I wonder what his reaction would be if China kidnapped Trump and tried to try him. Would he support that? Well, he supports it in principle, apparently. So would he support that? My guess is he'd be singing a different tune, of course. But here we go. Here's what he said. Let's watch.
Cuba's days are numbered. Colombia isn't going to be doing this anymore. Okay, yeah, I could see there's definitely a trend here. You specifically said you'd be against foreign intervention and nation building. Why have you switched positions? Well, I'm generally against it, but there are some instances where I'd be okay with it.
I'm generally against it, but the most naked, brazen, disgusting, corrupt, immoral, illegal, worst way of doing it, I love that because it makes me feel like a tough guy. And it makes me feel like Trump is like superhuman. So I'm against it unless he does it in the most brazen way possible. Then I love it. How does anybody watch this? How does anybody watch this, bro? I actually don't understand. I genuinely don't get it.
Like, I think it's something that's generally a bad idea, but if we can get enough money out of the place that we're intervening in, and we can effectively make it worthwhile for us, then I'd be...
Yeah, I'm not always in favor of intervention unless it's a elite pedophilic cabal doing it, at which point I am actually in favor of it. I'm not usually for it unless it's Donald Trump, who is the #1 defender of pedophiles doing it,
So I'm generally against it, but if we're willing to do very open thievery, if we're willing to do robbery and theft and jack their natural resources for our corporations, well, in that case, I'm in favor of it. Asmongold, that's an argument to overthrow like literally every country on Earth. Everybody's got something of value, some places more than other, of course. But you just laid the groundwork and the argument for, no, yeah, I would do this to anybody, anywhere, as long as I feel like our corporations are getting off scot-free and stealing a lot of shit. I mean, this is Fourth Reich shit. Let's call it what it is. And it's even like, it's like pirate type shit too. This is like flat out piracy that he's arguing for. But since it's, a reality star wearing a suit, he feels like somehow there's some legitimacy that's granted to it. It's preposterous.
Then I'd be okay with it. Does that make sense? So it's all about whether we're making money off of it. That's my primary function, is that...
It's kind of crazy that Asmongold saying neocon shit in 2026 while saying yeah base. I mean, this is Edgar Mentum's take, but it is Donald W. Bush right now. It is straight up Donald W. Bush hours. It's DWB, baby. Straight up. That is what's going on. And what's really funny is because we're living in the ashes of the global war on terror and how much of a spectacular failure it was, that you arrive at this like weird inconsistent position where they'll say like, oh, naked ambitions of imperialism and colonial plunder is good, as opposed to the previous versions of that where they at least tried to massage it as like a liberalizing democratization operation, right? Like that was the same purpose back then too, jackass. Oh, Dick Cheney, not based, but when Trump does it based. It doesn't make any sense. It's the same shit.
I think about, is this good for Americans?
Who's we? Who's we? You said as long as we're making money off it. Who's we? You're not ExxonMobil. You're not Chevron.
Okay, Kyle, I said the exact same thing.
You're not BP.
That's
You're not Citgo. This only helps the Epstein class. This only helps the billionaires. This only helps the corporations, the oil corporations. By the way, they promised Trump, Trump said to them, give me $1 billion for my campaign. He said this to oil companies, give me $1 billion, then I'll deliver for you guys. Give me $1 billion, I'll deliver for you guys. The most openly corrupt, this was reported on at the time, openly corrupt deal. And would you look at that? Now he's president. And he's openly saying, we're going to take the oil. We're going to overthrow Venezuela. We're going to take the oil. This is so crazy, the shit that he's saying. Oh, my God.
I think about, is this good for Americans? And if it is, if it's making us money, it's beneficial for us, it's lowering our costs, or there's some other downstream effect of it, then yeah, I'd be okay with it.
He hasn't thought this through in the slightest. This wouldn't help you or I at all, not even a little bit.
Asmongold thinks he's on the team. Breaking the Trump administration plans to put money raised from the seizure of Venezuelan oil into bank accounts outside the U.S. Treasury. They told lawmakers today. Sources said they understood these as similar or decidedly offshore accounts, asking the White House for clarification. Yeah, based. Blah. That's a pretty easy take to come to the left, Lamau. I mean, Donald Trump makes Marxist propaganda so easy. Like, well, to be fair, I don't think it's like propaganda in the liberal understanding of the word anyway, but he just makes it so easy. And yet people still don't want to see it.
It's about the Epstein class, the billionaires. The idea that, oh yeah, we're really looking out for a grandma who lives in Cleveland. Like, get the out of here. He doesn't even believe that. He's just using this to justify and rationalize the most disgusting foreign policy actions that we've seen in modern history.
But us just going over there and doing it for no reason? No, I don't think so.
There's always a reason. Nobody's like, hey, for shits and giggles, I'm going to go to New Zealand and do regime change. Nobody does that. Nobody's ever done that. There's always a reason. Read about the history of the banana wars. That was a reason. We wanted to overthrow a government so that the Chiquita Banana Company can jack all the bananas. That sounds incredibly dirty, but you get the point. Nobody's ever done it for no reason. Bush had his reason. By the way, that would also happen to be oil. That would be control of a vital region in the world geopolitically. Like, there were reasons, but what about law? What about law? What about principles? What about morality? What about ethics? What about equality? What about justice? Again, to want to live in a world where might makes right, and it's the law of the jungle, is so short-sighted, because throughout history, empires rise and fall.
Here, I'll give it to you. I'll give you an example, okay? You want to know why might makes right is not good? Let's not think about it in terms of the international standards. Let's think about it as a super basic thought experiment in the United States of America. If might makes right, I have enough money to go and hire a private military. I can just go to Asmongold's house with a private military and storm his home and then occupy it, and then now it's my home. Obviously, this would be ridiculous, right? It would be completely unacceptable. It's ridiculous. But if you say might makes right, you have to sit there and go, yeah, based. Might makes right only works as long as you feel like you are the mighty one. There is a reason why we cannot succumb to chaos. There's a reason why we shouldn't want to succumb to chaos. Obviously, you know, his home also has a real biological defense mechanism in and of itself, but that's just a hypothetical, right? The blowback we're going to experience in the coming years, or the blowback from being the proximity of Asmongold's home. There are natural defenses. Yeah, he's got the Iron Dome. In any case, the point I'm trying to make is might makes right is a psychotic understanding of the world, okay? It's not appropriate, it's terrifying, and it's utter chaos. Yes, it is the responsibility of the strong to protect the weak, and you can see a lot about a society by looking at the way they treat the most marginalized people.
There will be a time where we're not the most powerful country anymore. It's going to happen at some point, probably sooner rather than later, because Trump's ushering in that time very fast. I don't want to be on the receiving end of fucking China randomly overthrowing our government because they don't like that we're not giving them enough of our fucking natural gas that we get from fracking. Poor
marginalized dictator. Oh, I didn't realize that Maduro was also the entire natural reserves of Venezuela. My mistake. I didn't realize that he was literally just the natural oil reserves of Venezuela, and we just extracted him, and therefore all of the entire natural oil reserves of Venezuela has been extracted as well. Does it feel like we're talking about the kidnapping of Maduro at this point? We've moved beyond it. That was unacceptable to begin with. But we're currently talking about the brazen ways in which America is forcibly extracting the natural resources of Venezuela to turn profit for not the average American citizen, really, but for ExxonMobil, Chevron, Citgo, for Trump's select friends in the pedophilic elite class. Check old logs. Do right-wing demons deserve to get shot? Do right-wing demons deserve to be purified? As a liberal, what should I be doing instead of advocating for civility? Are you going to TwitchCon? Can we get a bill that makes it so you have to vote for related issues one at a time? Wait, how the f did this guy go from being like, I'm a liberal to being like, poor, marginalized dictator, rent free? Is this another liberal that became an Asmongold fan? Dude, NatSec liberalism is genuine brain poison. These people just like, they're so fucking one note when it comes to defending American dominance around the globe that they slowly but surely succumb to so many other reactionary positions. They cannot even recognize who they used to be after a while. Many such cases, for the record. You might be able to get that stain out with a carpet steam cleaner. No promises, but there's a good chance that it'll come out. You can rent them from Home Depot and the like. Like literally going from I'm a liberal, I have liberal mindset to like giving Asmongold carpet cleaning techniques. How the do you just lose sight of any of your first principles? It's genuinely shocking because you didn't even like dive into, I don't know, Destiny or something. You dive off the fucking deep end. At least Destiny still tries to maintain some of these like liberal perspectives, liberal frameworks that he seemingly operates off of, that he simply just casts aside when it comes to Israel, obviously. But like, it's just shocking to me that you go from like, I'm a liberal to I actually think that we should dominate everybody. Just because I don't like dictators doesn't make me not a liberal. Brother, that's not what I'm talking about. Or sister, that's not what I'm talking about. First of all, if you are a liberal, you should not be on board with Donald Trump stealing the natural resources of another country. What the fuck? Liberalism is supposed to move beyond the naked colonial exploitation. How does one get this involved with American national security? That I don't understand. Like, are you guys LARPing? Are you guys actually like, do you just like, how does the brainworm set in? It doesn't make any sense. It's Reddit. I think maybe. Do you think Capital's owners would not take advantage of the illegal status of their workers? Is it a good idea to have more undocumented people coming here today? People who have never and have nothing here? Why would you be a part of the origination? Okay, I don't know if this person was actually a liberal, I'll be real. I don't support him stealing the oil. Okay. Well, you support someone who is supporting him stealing the oil, so kind of feels like you're all over the place, a little inconsistent. I don't support them stealing the oil. I do support the person stealing the oil. I'm a liberal, by the way. Let me tell you my nuanced position. This time, destabilizing another country and doing regime change by force for oil is good. I'm a liberal, by the way. I'm a liberal who opposes the Iraq War, who thinks this time it's gonna be good. Okay, well, thank you. You definitely, maybe you are a liberal, but a stupid one, I think. You seemingly did not learn any of the lessons from the previous incursions, you know? Propaganda machine working against you is pumping out nonsense hourly. I used to watch it too, and it roped me in. For what it's worth, I made the opposite journey from centrist to leftist. You're winning some people over and losing some real ding-dongs, lol. Yeah, but if the ding-dongs are in here, that's what blows my mind. Like, how can you listen to what I have to say, see that I was vindicated over and over again, and then still have like one issue where you disagree with me, and then your entire worldview flips, and you lose sight of all of the previous positions that you actually rode for? That's what I don't understand, because like, these guys don't just go, you know what, I have a nuanced perspective on this, and now I've decided that like regime change for oil is good, but in this one specific instance, they also just end up being like, we should kill protesters in America, and also let's liberate Iran by killing more Iranians, of course, because that's the only way that we can liberate a country. Let's be real, we don't even give a fuck about the Iranians. We're just gonna do that at the behest of Israel. But like, that's the thing that I don't understand, like how you can lose sight of any of your values and slowly but surely find yourself in the throes of reactionary ideology. It does surprise me, I'll be honest. You've been incredibly consistent and people claim the opposite and it's eaten up. I really don't know. That's how you got me. Sorting my shit out now though. Yeah, it is pretty funny that I'm probably the most consistent political commentator, especially on this platform, but in most platforms in general, because my position is so outside of like the confines of what is normally seen, not being a liberal, not being a reactionary, not being a centrist. And yet for some reason, people still will say, one, that I'm audience captured, which is funny because I yell at my audience all the time. And two, People say that I'm inconsistent when you can just straight up watch, as we did yesterday, a video from 2017 or 2018, sorry, where I'm talking about the exact same things about regime change, about like American force projection, and how silly and stupid that is, and how American destabilization operations for resource extraction don't actually benefit people, even in the heart of empire, in the imperial core. I don't think it's funny. Reactionary politics is, by its very nature, must sway with the tide. Leftism consists of real, unchangeable values. I do feel like eventually you get to a point with reactionary politics where you are ideologically consistent, but we call those people fascists. Roach King went all out trying to make his viewers believe that the previous actions in the Middle East was by design and not a failure. I mean, it is by design, but it is also ultimately a failure for the average person, just like Venezuela is by that same exact design and will be a failure for the average person. I mean, yeah, look.
First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a communist.
This is 2018.
ICE is Gestapo, a state-sponsored law enforcement division created to wreak havoc in our communities, separate families, and punish people, well, overwhelmingly people of color, for the crime of wanting to pursue the American dream.
Look at that. Tom Homan, even back then. Come on, man. That's 8 years ago, dude. Because some of us don't like to be insulted, so when you attack us personally, we do a total 180 on everything just to piss you off or pissing us off. Okay, but you have to literally, you are openly admitting that you are childish. Like, that is, no, I want an apology. First of all, what the would I apologize to you for? That's number one. Earlier today, you straight up came in here and tried to do that silly ass, like, hypothetical situation justifying the death of the lady in Minneapolis in the hands of the ICE agent, and then you turned around and backed away into a claim that you were simply asking questions. You were simply like presenting a hypothetical. You know, you acted on an assumption. I did not say she deserved to be shot. See, this is what I'm saying. A Twitch streamer being mean to you should not actually undermine your whole worldview, unless you're literally 12. And if you're not literally 12 and you're an adult, you have to be an adult. We can have a disagreement. I can get mad at you. I can get heated. You get heated at me. It's fine. But still, stay consistent to your worldview. You feel me?
That's my viewpoint on it. That's what I think. No more pointless wars, period. Economical, logical interventions are fine. Yeah, exactly. And even if it costs civilian lives, yeah, who gives a shit? Like, I mean, if the thing is that if you're going to do this stuff, people are going to get killed. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen for sure.
What if that was your family? What if that was your best friend? What if that was you? What if that was your entire block? What about that?
Yeah, I mean, the question is, like, when you're talking about the lady that got shot and killed today by the one that got murdered by ICE today, like, that could have been your mom. You know what I mean? That's it. Like, that person could have easily been your mom, your kind-hearted mom, just as easily. It's shocking that people can't see that, even in this situation when it's like a white woman, right? Because a lot of people, when they see that, like, a victim of state violence, sanctioned state violence is black or brown, they can't put themselves in that person's shoes. But the moment that you can't even see, like, a white woman getting shot by a cop like that, and you find yourself justifying that kind of police brutality, ICE brutality specifically, that's, you might be too far gone, honestly. Like, that actually blows my mind. I mean, that's what the left did during the BLM riots. No, she got what she deserved. What wars have we been in? HasanAbi, don't worry, I'll wait. Brother, we are currently in the process of stealing Venezuela's oil while simultaneously talking about taking Greenland. Other logs withheld because automod. My mom wouldn't be that R-worded to follow ICE all day. He also said he hasn't talked about Asmongold lately. Asmon literally played 10 clips of you mentioning him this month. Lol. I mean, this is it, right? Cult of personality, cult of personality. No, I don't think this chatter is 12 chatter. I think it's a lot sadder than that. I think this is a whole ass loser who's like, you know, probably in his 30s, late 30s, desperate for attention. So she sends her kids off to school, so she spends all day with ICE. Fafo. You do this when you are you do this when you're genuinely a pathetic person. Like, you are so powerless in your life. You have nothing going on in your life, right? So you're incredibly desperate for some kind of attention that you get from streamers, you know? Can we bring the water cannons back? You called it, Zagrar. Someone would have died, and here we are. You said it'll take someone getting killed to change things. Do you think if the government is responsible for not fixing this? I've defended ICE until this situation. They told her to leave, and she turned around to leave. She shouldn't have been shot in the head, though. They told her to leave, right? Wait, so you were in his chat literally saying until you heard Asmongold's take, you actually had seen the video, developed your own perspective until you heard from Asmonfold, and that's all it took for your brain chemistry to get warped. He was genuinely in Asmongold's chat arguing. He was like, no, they told her to leave. What the f? And then you even try to cope and say, you called it. Someone would have to die, and here we are. And then he basically convinced you that it was good that that person died. And now, hours later, you're in my chat defending. How does this happen? No, I'm unbanning this motherfucker. I have to hear from this guy. I'm sorry. How do you go from at 11:43, I've defended ICE until this situation. They told her to leave and she turned around to leave. She shouldn't have been shot in the head though. They told her to leave, right? Like realizing that no one in the community is agreeing with you. And then you just decide, you know what? It's probably better if I agree with Asmongold. And then 4 hours later, you're in here being like, yeah, she deserved to be killed. Fafo, around and find out. Please, please, your brain must be studied like one of those NFL players that doesn't kill themselves by shooting themselves in the head and then writes a fucking note in their suicide note to be like, please study my brain. We need to understand CTE. Like, your brain has to be studied by scientists, chatter. You need to help us understand how you did this. Like, you came in, you watched a video of a horrifying, the narrative changed after watching the new videos. Brother, you saw a 37-year-old lady pulling outside of her home in her own goddamn neighborhood, getting conflicting narratives from a bunch of Gestapo psychopaths who ran up to her and were telling her to leave, and you correctly made that assessment after watching the video with your own two eyes. You watched the video with your own two eyes. You saw something that was completely unacceptable. And then you went to a 40-year-old unwashed losers community. You tried to defend your position, and you just got overwhelmed by Mr. Yeah Based, so much so that now not only have you internalized someone else's position, but you actually are defending it in other people's chats. This is my point, by the way, chatters. The reason why I'm showing you this is because you rarely ever see this in action, okay? But a lot of people genuinely are looking at politics from the perspective of vibes. It's about which communities that they frequent. And if there's like a couple things that they associate with and develop a sense of community over, whether it be like WoW or whether it be like titties in video games or something, they unironically will genuinely change their perspective on something that they see as black and white like that if enough people are actually repeating it back to them. He was hit by the car. She was following them all day. That was early on. He was not hit by the car. I don't believe she intentionally tried to hit him, but it was a split-second decision, and now they've dissected the video, and in no part of the training that they have to move. What? Bro, the video you watched is correct. You got f***ing duped. Not only did you get duped, but you're now defending the dupers, the people that duped you. They fed you a lie. That's crazy. It's such an abject lie that the president straight up came out. We have the footage. We saw the footage. You saw the footage. The president was like, oh, he actually went to the hospital. He almost died. Like, he went so far as to say that, something that you can objectively see is untrue in the video footage that he posted on his Truth Social. It's on CNN front page right now. It shows her hitting them with the car. What are you talking about? Are you all right? Did we see a different video? Like, what the f? She is literally going right. What are you talking? The guy is unscathed. Like, what do you mean it's on CNN front page? I'm looking at the CNN front page, chatter. Did you get duped by like an AI video or something? Is that what happened? She drove forward and struck him with the car. He shot her through the front window. Yes, I'm good. No, she did not strike the person with a car. One of your 2026 predictions that lying would become even more OP. It's already happened. Brother, you need to understand something. If a car is literally coming at you, shooting the person would unironically not even be the right thing to do. If that person was legitimately afraid of being killed by an oncoming vehicle, then shooting the driver would be the dumbest thing to do because you'll die. You can only shoot and kill someone who is driving away from you. You can't shoot and kill someone and also leave the incident unscathed if they are trying to kill you. You understand that, right? And that's precisely the reason why. That is precisely ex-FBI agent breaks down the video. She did not drive forward and struck him with the car. I don't give a f what FBI agent is saying. Shots 2 and 3 were from the side window, and shot 1 is literally from the side of the fucking windshield. He's not even supposed to be in front of the car, but he certainly wasn't in front of the car. He was on the front left corner of the car. And it's something that you saw with your own two eyes, by the way. That's what's so shocking to me. You saw it with your own two eyes, and then you got convinced. No, it doesn't show her hitting him in the top left corner at all. What the are you talking about? And not only that, but you also admit here that she got conflicting information. They told her to leave, right? And she was turning around to do that, and he jumped onto the hood. Here's the video, dude. Look. She's like moving forward, about to leave, right? And then she waves off the first car passing. Then she waves off the second car passing as well, but it turns out the second car is an unmarked vehicle with ICE agents in it, okay? They come in hot. And as you also correctly pointed out earlier in the day, approximately 5 hours ago when you had fucking working brain cells, they run up and start giving her conflicting information. So she puts the car in reverse, okay, to leave. No! But the ICE agent number 2 here, ICE agent number 1, and ICE agent number 2, and ICE agent number 3 is in the back right here. ICE agent number 2 immediately, without even fucking telling her what her rights are or whatever, without even like telling her she's going to get detained or anything like that, goes for the door. This is not appropriate. What he's doing here is completely inappropriate. No! She is already taken the car off of reverse at this point. And if you notice, she moves the vehicle's front wheels to the right to leave, to get away. In that process, while she's leaving, without being struck whatsoever, this guy fires the first shot and then fires shots 2 and 3 long after she has passed away, long after she's passed by him. Wait till you find out the FBI agent is fresh and fit. Shut the fuck up. No, you're kidding me. He did not get his actual FBI agent is not fresh and fit. Is this the one where the ex-FBI agent? No, is this one, I assume, breaks down former cop breaks down the other federal law enforcement operations in this and justifies it.
Now, the way agents are trained, first of all, put this video under the microscope and walk through it. And I can tell you, I've watched this over 24 times right now. The focal point is going to be the front left fender of that vehicle and the agent that is then beyond it who decides to open fire. Now, the way agents are trained, first of all, and the police chief alluded to this in the press conference, is that they're not permitted to fire into a moving vehicle solely for the purpose of disabling the vehicle.
Is this the FBI agent that you saw who's, at least up until this point, correct? You're not supposed to actually fire into a moving vehicle?
When you look at that video, you can actually see that vehicle making contact, the front left of that vehicle.
Brother, this is what you mean when you say that she tried to kill him? This is what you're talking about? This is what you're talking about.
See that vehicle making contact, the front left,
like
of that
him sliding
vehicle with the ICE agent who was there.
If you think this justifies murder, I'm gonna be so for real with you. Like this moment
video,
right
you can
here.
Actually see that.
If you think that moment is a justification for murder and not a cop literally sliding out of the way, you are not able to be salvaged. This is not a salvageable situation for you. Okay, this is not a salvageable situation at all. You are lost in the
video. You can actually.
And by the way, the irony, of course, is that you also recognize, oh, didn't the cop jump on his hood or something? He didn't. He was in the way. The ICE agent was in the way. But if you think that is enough, that is reason enough to get fucking destroyed, to get killed, you are out of your mind. But she did hit him. How does he know that it's a split-second decision? What do you mean? What are you talking about? It's a split-second decision. What the are you talking about? He's literally walking right after. Clearly, it's not something that's impacting him. What the And then he ends up firing into the car anyway. What are you talking about? This is what we're considering a
video, you can actually
This is what we're considering enough to kill someone? You have to be absolutely brain broken. She's an ICE agent. This is literally an American citizen. I'd rather neutralize a potential threat that could have killed him. Oh my God, dude, you are not a cop. Stop doing this cop speak shit. You're a moron. You talked over the entire clip. I don't give a shit. I'm giving you the analysis here. It doesn't matter what this dickhead is saying.
But again, it'll come down to a matter of question. Could that agent have moved out of the way? They're not required to retreat. There's no duty to retreat when facing someone who may be potentially violent. Now, there's another thing to point out too, and that's the angle that we see from the bystander, is that it appears just before the shots are fired, the front wheels on that vehicle turn to the right. That's an indication, obviously, to us from that vantage point that the driver is about to move out of that location toward the.
Dude, this argument is literally, your life is worthless, okay? You as an American citizen, including this fucking chatter who is LARPing as a cop in the chat right now, your life is worthless. If a cop gets scared, they can kill you. And yes, I know that that is the reason why police don't have any accountability in this goddamn country, but that's not how things go. That's not how things are supposed to be. What the fuck are we talking about? Oh, I'm sorry, I had a gun and I got spooked. It's like that Acorn clip. Remember when the acorn falls on the cop car? And then the dude takes out his gun and starts spraying everywhere. He's like, oh shit, I'm under attack. Imagine if he murdered a child in the crib. Sorry, it's justifiable. We thought that we were under attack. Officer under fire, you know? Meanwhile, this is not even a cop. He's an ICE agent. The fuck's he doing here? I cannot think of a situation where his life was more safe. I mean, demonstrably, okay? Split second decision. Sorry, he couldn't figure it out is the most insane thing I've ever heard. Okay, what if he tripped and fell in that moment? Is it okay if he just got scared in a moment of panic and started spraying? The f do you mean? Oh, sorry, he got afraid. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the reason why there should be rules around when you can take your weapon out. You notice how he actually moves out of the way despite the fact that he makes contact with the car? That's because she wasn't trying to kill him. You notice how he walks around after he murders her and is not even remotely threatened at all? That's because she wasn't trying to murder him. She was trying to get away. Well, this chatter also probably got banned site-wide because he was saying "F around and find out. You get what you deserved," which is ironic because Twitch will ban random chatters for saying that, but not, or no, never mind. He's a federal agent and not a cop, I thought. Which is it? He's not a cop. And you can decide in a split second if you're about to get ran over by a car that's allegedly stalking you all day. Allegedly stalking you all day? Shut the fuck up. These are ICE agents. I don't know why his chat logs are not getting. So where was the new angle? It's not even a new angle. It's this. It's the same fucking angle that everybody keeps pointing to be like, no, this one actually proves that she was trying to murder him. She was trying to murder him at 2 miles per hour as he literally stepped aside. Oh, they did get suspended? Never mind. It's ironic to me that Twitch will suspend random fucking chatters for repeating Asmongold's talking points, but won't ban Asmongold. Dude, then don't ban his chatters. They're just repeating what he's saying. If you have a standard here, apply it evenly. Either don't ban Asmongold's chatters for literally repeating his talking points, or ban Asmongold. You can't have it both ways. It's so crazy because that chatter didn't say anything that Asmongold hasn't said. If anything, he was more understanding than Asmongold, at least early on in the fucking day. Yeah, the stalking lie makes no sense. She was literally killed in her own neighborhood. I don't know where you got the stalking lie from. These guys have no answer for the fact that if she was trying to drive into the dude, if she was trying to drive into the dude, why did she go right instead of straight or to the left? My boy just tuned in and he's randomly talking about my boy Asmongold. Yeah, he's your boy. He's your best friend. It's so funny that these unwashed incels don't even realize that they unironically sound like K-pop Twitter stans. These are the same people who are like, why do people stan VTubers, bro? Why do people stan in K-pop stars or whatever, and then they unironically stan Asmongold, which makes even less sense. You know what I mean? At least you're a stan of, like, again, if you're a K-pop stan, it makes sense. They make music, they look good, they shower, they're pretty, you know? Ain't no world in which if someone is trying to kill the ICE agent in front of them, they're reversing. This is not like a cartoon where you reverse so you can just like really gun it into the person, right? Like it doesn't work like that. They would just gun it directly. Oh, it's because Homeland Security Secretary Kirsten Noem claimed that Renee Nicole Good had been stalking and impeding federal law enforcement in the hours before the shooting. Oh, that's where they're coming from. Oh, I got it. Okay. See, Krabby Patty Crabs, thank you for bringing up where people are getting this like insane information from. Yeah, they think she was a rapid response person. I don't even know if she was, but even if she was, it's f***ing legal. That is legal. Just so you understand. What that is lawful, okay? What is not lawful, on the other hand, is getting shot in the head I don't even know if that's real, for the record. I don't trust Kristi Noem at all. She also called her a domestic terrorist who deliberately was trying to kill ICE agents. So, you know,